the NBA play-ins have now been decided, and it's time to really just, give my predictions on the playoffs, because I'm not gonna lie to you. Although, look, I'm from the UK, I'm English, but I have been into basketball for, honestly, since like early 2000s when Allen Iverson was at the 76ers, and he's the guy that got me into basketball. I'm not gonna lie to you. I looked at him and I was like, yo, this is a cool guy. My cousin, I thank my cousins for everything. They brought me into the basketball world. They influenced who I support in football. They influenced my music choices. Everything comes from my cousins because they were a bit older. And yeah, like my cousin, he was into basketball. He was about 5-6 years older than me. And he got me into this, and I was like, yo, this is sick. And I remember we were like playing NBA Street on his PlayStation, then NBA Street 2 on his PlayStation. I bought NBA Street 3, I think, from my PS2. And yeah, my fascination just grew with NBA since then, and I've been following it. I'm a Sixers fan, which isn't great because we've won nothing since I've been a Sixers fan, but it is what it is. And honestly, like, this year has been kind of crazy in terms of especially the MVP race. I've actually done a video over on my YouTube channel, so go check that out. I've already done a video there. So in terms of what The Athletic posted, because I think it was really interesting. So The Athletic, I don't know if anyone's familiar, do essentially, they do an anonymous sort of Q&A and voting with the players. And in the last few years, they've actually been right with who their predictions for MVP has been. So this year, SGA came out on top. Second was Jokic. And then you had a three-way tie for 3, I think. So it was Kay Cunningham, Doncic, and someone else. And then Wembanyama was like just outside those. Now, for me, I'll be real, I believe Wemby deserves it for the regular season MVP. It's always weird as well. Like, there's never like a definitive date when it's going to get announced. It's just like, we're just going to announce it then. Like, I think last year it was like early May or something. It's always a bit weird. This year's just been a bit mental in terms of, I feel like there's a few very strong teams in it, but there's not like one domineering team. And I think that's what's going to make it fascinating for a playoff picture anyway. So anyway, just to get into this, the NBA have got this pick and bracket challenge, which is essentially all the brackets for the different matchups. Like I said, the play-ins have been decided now. They're decided earlier today. The playoffs have actually started, if I'm not mistaken, as well. The play-ins were decided. Golden State Warriors got knocked out. Suns progress. So Suns are going to face Thunder in the first series of the Western Conference. So yeah, we're just going to predict this right now. So the way you do this, you basically just put the games in as well. Now look, I'm not going to lie to you. Thunder, for me, the most well-oiled machine. Like, we saw them dominate last year. And I feel as though this year they're going to dominate up to a point. So for me, I'll be real, like, I'm definitely going Thunder on this one. I genuinely think this might be a clean sweep. Like, I don't think there's going to be many clean sweeps from our predictions, but this is probably going to be one of them. So I'm saying Thunder in 4, man. Thunder in 4. Now, a lot's been said about this next matchup, the Lakers versus the Rockets, right? So Lakers obviously sweating on Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic and injuries. They're having to rely on LeBron at age 40 odd. And he's been doing well since they've both been out. He's carried the load, but doing it in a playoff series is a bit different. And he's against the Rockets, who the Rockets have had a bit of an upsurge since they got KD. And KD, like, he has the ability to ball out when he wants to. Like, it's just when he wants to. Like, if you look at this, it says only 33% of people are picking Lakers to go through. I think this is just super dependent on injuries right now to everyone. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly look at Lakers injuries, because you know what? If any of them are back, I just think that Lakers might go through here. Lakers have merely stated he's out indefinitely, not committing to when he's going to return later in the first round. And apparently Austin Reeves is in the same thing. Apparently Kevin Durant's also slightly questionable. Okay, well, I didn't know that. But I just don't know, man. Like, there's so much like riding on just the injuries, I think, because I think if a fully healthy roster, Lakers win. I think that's how it goes. Like, Lakers should win this matchup quite easily. I just don't know. Honestly, I just don't know where everyone else just kind of fits into this Lakers team. Like, if they can pull it through, I don't think they can. The thing is, they've still got a few decent players. It's not like the Lakers roster's like really bad. You know what I mean? Like, it's still a decent enough roster to get through the first round, I feel. Luke Kennard, I rate him. Ayton's been so weird, man. If he plays like he's meant to play, he's decent. They got Hachimura, who has decent. Marcus Smart as well. You know what? I'm going to go for Lakers, but I think it's going to be close. I think this will be a 6-game series or even a 7-game. Because I think I've got a feeling Luka's going to come back. And I think that'll make it 6 games. I'm going for Lakers in 6 on this, which might sound dumb, but that's what I'm going for. Now, Nuggets and Timberwolves. I think this is kind of a no-brainer, to be real with you. Like, Jokic is a freak in the nicest way possible. And someone was asking me about Giannis, because obviously Giannis hasn't made it this year, and there's been a massive mess up with the Bucks. You know, ever since they broke up that team, man, they had Drew Holiday, who was balling out, and then traded him out because they wanted to get Dame, and it just didn't work. Dame, and I knew that wouldn't work, man. I knew that wouldn't work. And the reason why I'm talking about Giannis is because I felt like for a couple of years he was the most dominant player in the league, and then Jokic just turned it up, and then Giannis just hasn't been able to hold a candle to Jokic, in my opinion. And the thing is, Jokic just plays at his own pace, which is mental. Like, he literally is one-paced and no one can touch him. And the looping jump shot, like, how much like elevation he gets. Nah, man, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, low key, look, I'm a Sixers fan, right? So I'm going to say Embiid deserved his MVP. But a lot of people were like, oh, Jokic should have got that, and then he would have won so many in a row. But anyway, I'm going Nuggets in 5. I think the Wolves will get one. And now we go on to Spurs versus Portland. And I just feel like, look, Portland have actually built a fairly decent roster, if I'm not being completely biased. Like, they've got Dame back, Tybal from the Sixers, who's all right as a role player. They've got Drew Holiday, who I rate really highly, although he's got a bit older now. Oh, Scoot Henderson. I rate Scoot Henderson, to be honest with you. The thing is, I still think Spurs, though, like, Spurs as a functioning unit remind me very much of an early OKC. Like, OKC for me, like I said, they're the well-oiled machine. But Spurs, I know everyone just talks about Wemby, and look, Wemby's like my favourite player in the league right now. But I feel as though the Spurs have just built very well around Wemby, although I don't think it was meant to be around Wemby. But it's kind of just worked out that way. Like, they've got, obviously, De'Aaron Fox, Stephen Castle. It's just the way, you know what it is? It's the way they know when to pass to Wemby and when to take it on themselves. And I feel as though that's really benefited them, even when Wemby's been on minutes restrictions, right? Look, it says 98% of fans have picked Spurs to advance from this. I'm not surprised. Spurs are absolutely incredible, and I'm going to do the same, man. And I genuinely think that this will be... I think because Portland have got fairly decent players, I think they might nick one game, so I'm going to go Spurs in 5. And now we go on to the East, right? And I think the East is... There was always a running joke when I was growing up when you used to compare the East and the West, and it was always like the West like so much better. But this year, I feel like the West is so much better again. Pistons, honestly, look, again, they've got that team chemistry. Cade Cunningham has been fucking balling out. I did not realize that Cade would be able to sustain a season like that and put that together. So fair play. And they play some really fun basketball as well. Like, they move the ball. They play like a team. And that's one thing I love. Orlando Magic just squeezed into that last play-in position, number 8 seed. And I can't see anything but a Pistons win in this one. And I'm going to go, I think this might be a sweep, to be honest with you. Now, the Cavs and the Raptors, right? This is a big year for the Raptors, because I don't think anyone was really banking on the Raptors making it into playoffs. So they've done really well to just make it in, I'll be real with you. Obviously, they've got Scotty Barnes, they've got Brandon Ingram. So they have got a couple of decent players in there. But they're up against the Cavs, who have one of the weirdest rosters, like, with James Harden. I think any roster with James Harden's weird, to be honest with you. James Harden's I've never liked him. I'll be completely with you. I understand his value, but personally, I don't get James Harden. I get him, but he's just such an ISO player, and it just annoys me. They got Donovan Mitchell, who I think is class. Evan Mobley, class. Dennis Schroeder always makes me laugh because his time at the Lakers, he's just like, no one wants him, but he just ends up somewhere. But no, look, Cavs have got an all right roster. I think they're a lot better than Raptors though, and I still think Raptors will take 2 games though. I'm not mad at that. So I think Cavs in 6. I think that makes sense. I think over the last 4-2, and then we've got the Knicks and the Hawks. Now, my second team in basketball And I say second team just because I was like, I can't. When Sixers were crap, I was like, I'd like to have another team that I can kind of get behind. But Knicks and I loved Carmelo. Like I love underdogs, so I kind of like fell in love with the Knicks just because of that. But they weren't much better than the Sixers. But like right now, look, a couple of years ago they balled out, and then obviously they traded away Randall for Cat, which at the time I was like, is this going to work? Because Cat's a weird one as well. But Jalen Brunson's been the driving force behind this team. And they've got Josh Hart, who I think is quality. Even Alvarado's like sick. Mikal Bridges. They've actually got a fairly decent roster, man. But Jalen Brunson's the kingpin here, and Cat is a very good second option in my opinion. The Hawks are a funny one as well, though. Like when they traded away Trae Young, I was a bit like, what the hell are they doing here? And CJ McCollum's been always a guy who's like been a Neely man a lot of the time, but Jalen Johnson's played very well. And Kuminga on his day, I think, like, yeah, and they've got, look, again, they've got a fairly decent roster. Like they've got Buddy Hield, who he's had a bit of a weird career already, even though I don't think he's like mad old or anything. I think this will be a lot closer than people think. Like it says 89% of people think Knicks will win. I think Knicks will win. I just think this is more like a 4-2 or a 4-3. I'm going to go 4-2 though. I don't think it'll be 4-3. I'm going to go 4-2, so Knicks in 6. And then the Celtics and 76ers. All right, cool. So this is my team, Sixers, right? We got through. I was so surprised we actually got through. I was happy for us to just not go into the playoffs this year because, low-key, we're going to get embarrassed, especially against the Celtics, who, man, like everyone just seems to be coming together at the same time. Annoying because obviously we've not got Joel Embiid, and then like you've got obviously obviously I'm not sad that people come back from injury because it's all good. Do you know what I mean? But you know, like with the Celtics, it looks like they've just got a healthy squad. Like Tatum's back, Jaylen Brown's. I mean, that's what you need, right? Vukovic, and you got annoying Derek White. Derek White's so annoying, man. That guy he just keeps running. Just stop running, bro. But no, as long as you got the big two in that front court, like, I think you're going to be fine. It's annoying to me that Celtics are going to be good against my team, but I've got to be realistic, man. I'd love to put Sixers through. We've got no chance, man. We've got Maxi's our best player. Why did we let Jared McCain go? Like, Jared McCain had so much bloody potential. It just annoyed me. Yeah, I mean, 98% of fans think Celtic. I think Celtic too. And honestly, I can see this being a clean sweep. I don't want to say that against my own team, but I feel it's going to be a clean sweep. So, you know what? I'm going to put Celtics through in 4. And that hurts me. That bloody hurts me. But now let's get back to the Western Conference. This is the semi-finals, right? So now we've got Thunder versus Lakers. Look, I love LeBron, man. I love what he's doing with Lakers. The romance inside me is like, oh my God, let LeBron win. But I just think that realistically, the Thunder are the most well-oiled machine. They're literally... Last year, they showed what a good team they were all together. They've just literally just one more turn of that, and they're just even better this year. And I think barring any injuries, so I think Thunder's Lakers, I'm going to put Thunder through. And look, I think Luka will be back by here, and hopefully Austin Reeves will as well. But I still think, you know what? I think it'll be 4-2. So I'm going to say Thunder in 6. I think it'll be closer than people think. And then we've got Nuggets and Spurs. Now, I think I'm going to be quite controversial here because I've got a feeling. Oh no, it says 37% people think only Nuggets will go through and 57 Spurs. So I'm going to go with Spurs because although I've said Jokic is an absolute freak in a good way, Spurs have got a bigger freak, man. They got Wembanyama. And like I said, I feel like the Spurs are like a lower evolution than OKC in terms of they've got all the right pieces. They just need another year experience together, and they'll be there. So I think this will be close because the Nuggets have actually been very hard for the Spurs to play against. But I'm gonna go with Spurs, man. And I think this is gonna be a 7. I think this matchup between the Nuggets and the Spurs will be the best series we see throughout the whole thing. Okay, now we're getting into the Eastern Conference semifinals. First one, Pistons Cavs. Now Pistons are balling out. The Cavs are a weird team, like I've said. They got James Harden who can turn it on, but he can't turn it on in playoff games. So I'm gonna say Pistons through in this, but I think Cavs will pick 2. So I'm gonna say Pistons in 6 Pistons in 6, man. Pistons in 6. Right, and now the next one, Knicks and Celtics. Right, so I think, look, as long as Tatum and Jaylen Brown stay healthy, although you have Cat and Brunson on the other side, I feel as though, sorry, I've got a massive spider. Right, watch this. I'm going to go kill a spider. All right, cool, I'm going to go kill it. It's really annoying me. Give me 1 second. I killed it. It's because I got my window open, man, and the lights on. It's evening. Is what it is. Right, now, Knicks Celtics, like I said, you got Cat and Brunson on one side, and on the other side, you have Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And for me, they've got the experience, and they're just better. They know how each other play. They've been playing together a lot longer. It's going to be Celtics in 5, to be honest with you. I think Knicks will get one. That's it. Okay, so the Western Conference Finals. I have the Thunder against the Spurs. And I think this is predictable. Realistically, these are two of the MVPs coming up against each other. Even in the last round, it was for the Spurs. And I think because the Spurs had like a really long series in the last round against like the Nuggets, I think this will be a lot harder for the Spurs than I expect. But a lot of people are probably thinking, oh, the Thunder will go through on this. I'm thinking the Spurs. I'm taking Spurs over Thunder. I think this will again be a very drawn out. I think this will go 7 games, but I can see the Spurs beating Thunder this year. I just think Wemby's on a minutes restriction and he's balling out. And then in the Eastern Conference Finals, we have Pistons and Celtics. Now, the Pistons are a new team. However, the Celtics have been there and done it. And if they are healthy, I generally think they're going to win. I think they're going to win. I can see the Celtics winning this. And honestly, I don't think it's going to go all the way. I think it'll be a 4-2 series, so 6-game Celtics win. Okay, now, the NBA Finals, I see this year as being Spurs versus Celtics. Which kind of sounds mad to me, but that's kind of how it's just worked out. But for me, look, I generally think this is going to be a generational year for Victor Wembanyama. Look, the Celtics got the know-how, but the Spurs are they're so exciting to watch, man, just because of Wemby. Like, who the hell is blocking that many times in a game? Who is that effective on both ends of the floor? I just think if he stays fit, the only thing is about this whole run for the Spurs is because he's been on minutes restriction, I'm a bit skeptical about his fitness. But for argument's sake, I think he's going to get his team to the finals. Now, will he win the finals? In my opinion, yeah. I know that sounds kind of mad, but I feel as though the Spurs, the issue is Celtics I feel like Celtics would have had easier matchups. Like I said, they're going to sweep the Sixers, in my opinion. I think they'll beat the Knicks in 5. And then the Pistons are going to be the hardest thing. Whereas I think Spurs, space the Nuggets and the Thunder is going to take it out of them physically. Which means that I think this matchup is going to be a lot closer than I expect it to be. But I still want, well, not that I only want. I think Spurs will win this. But I generally think this might be another 7-game series. Even though I think quality-wise, I think right now Spurs are better. And I think if they were to face each other in like the first round, I think this will be more like a 5 or 6-game series rather than a 7. But I'm going to go Spurs to win in 7. But yeah, this is my end kind of bracket where I see it. I see the Spurs. So that is my predictions for the NBA playoffs 2026. I think the San Antonio Spurs are going to win this. And yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm really excited to, where this team can go. And I genuinely think that Wembanyama is going to be the face of the league for as long as he wants to be the face of the league. Being completely real with you. This guy is, by the time he's, in 10 years' time, I think people will be saying he's on the Mount Rushmore. I think people will be saying he's on the Mount Rushmore with LeBron, MJ, and whichever 4th player you want to pick. But I think the top 3, he's going to be in the top 3. And when it's all said and done, I'm calling it now, he might be number 1. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this, please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. We have daily videos coming on this channel. It was originally streamed on Twitch. And yeah, that's where I'm going to be doing some cool kind of streams like this, especially when I'm like building things. Like I'm going to be doing like a squad selector and things like that for England. I did the squad selector for England, but I'm going to be doing like the whole World Cup draw and things like that. So let me know what you want to see and I'll be delivering it. Anyway, peace.